What's good, podcast world? What's good, YouTube?
Sixers are in trouble. I need a top five.
Man, let's get into best of the week, man. What's good, podcast world? What's good, YouTube? Back for another episode of Charging to the Game Sports Podcast. As you can see, the fellas are here with me tonight, and very special guest, man. It's an honor. Chris Hayre of the LA Chargers now. Chris, man, how you feeling, brother?
I feel great. I was always excited to come on, but the fact that we got to know everybody's from the DMV area beforehand makes it even more special. So it's a pleasure to be here, guys.
For sure, man. So like I said, DMV stand up, man. If you're listening, make sure you like, comment, listen, subscribe to the channel, man. If you're a Chargers fan, man, you're in for a treat. Chris is obviously a reporter for the team. Going to be hitting heavy with the Chargers news. Going to be talking everything from the Mac trade, Justin Herbert, getting to know Brandon Staley a little bit, man, because that's one of my biggest questions. The coaching staff and just a lot more, and just NFL in general. So without further ado, man, Chris, for the people that don't know you, man, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So you know what? It's funny. It dates back to the DC area. I've been in sports for over 20 some odd years, and I started at Sports Talk 980 in DC, where I was an intern on the John Thompson show. And I was telling you guys, I used to pick up pizzas for Tony Kornheiser on Tuesdays when he had his show in Bethesda. So, excuse me, I was working on the then like Redskins tailgate show, and we did so much with the team on the media side. Coincidentally, I actually worked for the team on the marketing side from 2004 to 2006.
Oh wow!
And then I left the DMV area to come out to Los Angeles to take a job with the LA Lakers. I was with the Lakers for 9 years, doing something completely different. I was director of corporate sponsorships. I was there for 9 of Kobe's last 10 seasons. Wow. And got to experience just 3 straight finals, 2 championships. Got to see some of the best basketball with him and Pau Gasol and Lamar Odom and Derek Fisher. So it was such a special experience for me, but I needed to get back to the media side. So I left the Lakers. I went to Northwestern for a year to get my master's, and I came back to LA, and I knew a couple of teams were potentially going to come back to LA from the NFL. Then the Rams came, and then the Chargers came, and I started the Chargers Weekly podcast in 2017, and we're now entering our 6th season with the pod, and we try to get the best guests in football on a weekly basis with me and Matt Money Smith, the play-by-play voice of the team. And in addition to that, I also am an anchor and reporter over at CBS Los Angeles. So I work over there, and obviously do a lot of Chargers work over there, but all sports in LA, Lakers, Dodgers, Angels, Clippers, Kings.
A lot of winning.
Yeah,
big market too.
It really is like the sports and entertainment capital of the world. There's 2 of everything, big events. So I've been so fortunate to get in there and work with the great Jim Hill, who's been doing this for a long time in Los Angeles. And I'm excited to talk ball, though. The draft is one of my favorite events on the NFL calendar, and all the speculation leading up to it. There's a variety of ways I think the Chargers could go at 17, and for the Commanders at 11, there's a lot of things that they could do as well. I don't think you could go wrong, really. You could probably pick 4 or 5 different positions they'd be happy with as well.
Oh, man. And like I said, Jay Nari knows how it crushes his team. I joke around with him, the no-name team. Like, what is your name? Last year, they were the only team in the NFL that had no damn name. You know what I mean? Now they come out with the Commanders. They were saying that on Sports Talk Radio for the longest, kind of time. So I don't know if it was leaked or whatnot. But, this is not a Washington show. This is the Chargers show. So I know you kind of touched on something, man. So for the draft. So Chargers fans out there, and I've been kind of listening to your podcast and listen to you guys talk. It seems like you guys can kind of go in a lot of different directions, but ultimately what do you think you guys should do or bring in? Like best player available? Is there somebody you guys are eyeing or?
You know what? I truly think it could be 4 or 5 different positions. I think they could trade up. I think they could trade back. This isn't like last year where the glaring need was a left tackle, and you were fortunate enough to get Rashawn Slater at 13. I don't think a lot of people thought he would be there, including myself. 13 overall. It's not like 2 years ago when Justin Herbert was available at number 6 overall. This is a team.
2 home runs back to back.
Right? 2 home runs in the first round. And this is a team who went 9-8 in Brandon Staley's first year. I'm sure we'll get into Khalil Mack and J.C. Jackson and Sebastian Joseph Day and Austin Johnson and all the guys that they brought in defensively to kind of build around Derwin James and kind of what they already have on defense. They have to improve in a lot of areas, but 9-8 team who loaded up on defense, who doesn't want to take a step back offensively. So that leads you with a lot of different possibilities. You know, Kaiser White went to Philadelphia. Went to Seattle, and Khalil Mack comes in. So I know Brandon Staley can never have enough cornerbacks. So, you know, the dream was a couple of weeks ago was Derek Stingley at 17. I don't think he's going to get out of the top 10 now. So
no way.
His stock is moving up.
Yeah, stock is moving up. Honestly, I think the safest and most realistic pick is a right tackle, a guy like Charles Cross or Trevor Penning. You put a guy on the other side of Slater, and then you have your bookends for the next decade plus. Linebacker, you know, Devin Lloyd of Utah. That could be a guy who may fit Brandon Staley's system. And then wide receiver, you know, listen, they paid Mike Williams big money. Keenan Allen is maybe the best route runner in football. The thing that they're missing offensively for Justin Herbert is that speedster, is that guy who can stretch the field. Now they have a guy in Jalen Guyton, but if they could get a dynamic Pro Bowl type speedster like a Jameson Williams or a Chris Olave, I just wonder what that offense would look like. When you see Tyreek Hill leave the division, I think it's an opportunity for the Chargers to really try to take hold of the West finally. And, you know, what better way to do it than to load Justin Herbert up with more weapons? I know there's only one football to go around, but shoot, man, if you put Jameson Williams and Keenan Allen and Mike Williams and Gerald Everett and Austin Eckler all in the field at the same time, somebody's going to be open.
Yeah,
right?
Somebody's going to be open.
Somebody's going to be open. That's a lot.
So that's a long answer for saying I don't know. But I think it's exciting because there's a lot of different positions that I think could help the Chargers in 2022 make an impact. And one thing before we get on to the next question, I look at 2018, right, where they went 12-4. Phillip had a great year. People really don't talk about that rookie class. Derwin James, first team All-Pro. That was a big reason why they went 12-4. Justin Jackson was a 7th round pick, and he had a couple big games late in that year that helped get them to the playoffs. Uchenna Nwosu had that strip sack against Baltimore in the wild card game. Justin Jones started that game. Kaiser White started that season before he got hurt. So it's another way to say that there could be a lot of guys in this draft class who contribute to what the Chargers hope is a Super Bowl caliber team in 2022.
Yeah, and good answer, man. Like I said, I mean, it just seems like you guys, as crazy as this might sound, with the Russell Wilson coming into the division and then the Raiders, I mean, we all know what the Raiders picked up with Devontae Adams and those guys, and then obviously you got Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Tyreek Hill's gone. I get it. It seems like you guys are flying like under the radar, but it's like how? Because you guys have picked up and made so many key additions and stuff like that. And then, like you said, on the draft side, I love Trevor Penning, the smaller school guy from, I forgot the university, but I've seen but I've seen some of his. He's a nasty dude.
You want a nasty dude, right? You want a nasty dude on the right side. And you know, when you have Max Crosby and now Chandler Jones and Randy Gregory and Bradley Chubb and Frank Clark and Chris Jones, let's go on and on. All these guys in the division, you better be able to block them. And listen, Rashawn Slater can't block Crosby and Jones. So you need to have that guy on the right side that can kind of grow with both Slater and Herbert. So, I know people want the flash and excitement in the first round, and a guy like Jameson Williams or Olave or a stud corner maybe fits that bill. But sometimes just meat and potatoes. Get that right tackle. You don't need much else offensively. What I would like to see them do is to really identify a running back to complement Austin Eckler, and to make his life easier. Keep him fresh. Give 15 to 18 touches a game for Austin, and get a guy who can help control time of possession. I know you don't want to take the ball out of Justin Herbert's hands, but sometimes you have to play football different ways in a 17-game season, and I think they need to identify that running back too, moving forward this upcoming season.
Yeah. So the talk of the trade that the Saints made to jump right ahead of the Chargers, the talk is for a tackle. So
right,
they went right ahead of the Chargers, and now that looks like they want a tackle.
Yeah, and they've done a great job identifying offensive linemen. The Saints have, and actually the Chargers are surrounded by the Eagles and Saints. I think it's Eagles, Saints, Chargers, Eagles, Saints in some order, right? So if they do move
that's
up,
exactly how it is. Two Eagles, Saints, Chargers, Eagles, Saints.
Yeah, so they're surrounded by those guys. I think but it could be for a quarterback.
Yeah,
it could be, and this is what's interesting about this year's class is it's not a sexy quarterback class.
Yeah.
Usually, that the top 3 quarterbacks are going to go in the top 5 picks or top 10 picks. Yeah. I could see the run on quarterbacks happening around where the Chargers select. So, will a team want to trade out with the Chargers and get up to get a Malik Willis or a Kenny Pickett or a Matt Corral? And
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh
right there.
Does that maybe give the Chargers an opportunity to move back and recoup that second round pick that they lost in the Khalil Mack trade? So that's why I wouldn't be surprised if a team like the Chargers would move back. I mean, I don't know, but it would make sense to get that extra pick and to get 2 quality starters in the first and second round, as opposed to just sticking and picking, which if they do, I do think they'll get a starter, whether it's a right tackle, whether it's a linebacker, a corner, complimentary receiver. So there's a variety of options, and that's why the NFL draft is so fun, because something weird is going to happen. We just don't know it yet.
Yeah, I agree, man. I mean, I'm looking at this. I think what makes the most sense is if they like somebody, they're probably going to take them. But if they're like, we can get this guy later, and somebody's making a move, and like you said, wants to move up for a quarterback, I think they'll trade back, like you said, recuperate and get that second round pick out of that Mack trade. Speaking of Khalil Mack, man, I saw your interview with him. He seemed right at home, man, and everything like that. So tell us about Khalil Mack. How's he fitting in so far, in your opinion? And I guess obviously the goal was a Super Bowl, but does he seem like he's still the same Khalil Mack? Because when you see the trade, they just traded him for what, a second, and what else?
It was a second, and then I think maybe some sort of pick swap. I have to go back.
Yeah.
But the reason, and that's what's funny, is that you say, oh, he only got traded for a second round pick, but you got to pick up his salary too. Yeah. And I think what the Bears were trying to do, or they have a new general manager, a new head coach, they kind of want to start anew. So this is what I gathered from Khalil Mack. I felt like in his press conference before I interviewed him, I got this vibe that he feels like there's this narrative out there that he's maybe not the same player that he was, because he only played in 7 games last year. The vibe I get from him, he's understated. He doesn't want to talk a lot. He just wants to show you that he's Khalil Mack. And I know he had some of his best years with Brandon Staley as that outside linebackers coach in Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah. When he's healthy and you put him on the other side of Joey Bosa, man, who do you double? Like, I'll ask Big Z, who do you double? Like, who do you think? Hey, I don't know. Like, would you double Khalil Mack or would you double Bosa? Because if you know one of them, the other one's getting one-on-one, and it's not going to be a good day for your left and right tackle. You know, so I'm excited about what he could potentially bring. I know that, you know, the Bears haven't had a lot of success lately. And I think people did forget about him a little bit last year because they had a down year. He played less than half the season. But we've all seen Khalil Mack when he's 100%. And I still think he has a few good years left in him, no doubt. And
Bosa will make him better on the other side. He may get single.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah,
that's the thing is I think those guys will complement each other very nicely. And one of the things that I think that this team, well, I know this team has to get better at is stopping the run. And Khalil Mack, for everything he does in terms of generating pressure on quarterbacks and sacking quarterbacks, he can set the tone to stop the run. And that's the type of guy that they need. They have to get that right. And when you talk about, you know, you mentioned Steve Weiss talked about Sebastian Joseph Day, and you know, you bring in Austin Johnson. Those guys were brought in because you know, Staley knows Sebastian Joseph Day from his time being the DC with the Rams, but they fit what he wants to do. Sebastian Joseph Day stops the run. Khalil Mack stops the run. So if they could start with that, you're not in 3rd and 2 and 3rd and 3 situations anymore. You're in 3rd and 8 and 3rd and 12 situations, and that's when Joey and Khalil do their work.
Exactly, man. And I like that. Like I said, I love that addition because I just, for some reason, you guys just keep flying under the radar. Everybody keeps talking about Russell Wilson coming in the division. And obviously, and then the Raiders, obviously, you know, they're no slouches either. And then obviously you got the Chiefs, obviously. But yeah, I mean, I think with the addition of Mack, man, and then Joey Bosa, man, I gotta ask you, how good is this guy? Like, I don't think a lot of people understand how great he is. You know, obviously you got Aaron Donald and, you know, Z likes the Steelers, so TJ Watt and those guys get a lot of the high praise, and then Mike Crosby's kind of coming on now. And
his brother.
Yeah, and even his brother. Yeah. So, I mean, how good is this guy?
He's excellent. And, you know, my co-host on Chargers Weekly, Matt Money Smith, says that Joey's the best all-around defensive lineman in football. He's a technician. The way he uses his hands. And I asked Khalil, like, how are you guys similar? How are you guys different? And he complimented Joey and just his hand usage and how he uses his hands to get an advantage. And, you know, Joey's also really, really good at stopping the run too. I don't know if he flies under the radar, guys, because the Chargers haven't been in the playoffs lately. And, you know, it's kind of that, you know, you see TJ Watt, you know, you see the black and gold in the playoffs, and the way Nick Bosa came on his rookie year, and Aaron Donald winning a Super Bowl. So I think all it takes is to get in the tournament for Joey, and you know, more eyes will be on him. And frankly, I'll say this: the schedule release comes out in second week of May, I think. I wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers have 5 primetime games. You know, I think Justin Herbert's going to help
Herbert alone,
Joey Bosa, frankly, you know, when you're playing, you know, the Raiders on Sunday night or the Broncos and Chiefs on Monday night,
whole division.
They should just put the whole division on.
Think about that. Herbert versus Mahomes twice.
Yeah, I mean, Herbert versus Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Herbert versus Derek Carr, and maybe the greatest regular season game we've seen in years. You know,
I gotta ask you, man, brother, come on, man, that game right there. What happened, man? Jay's doubling. So Jay likes. So just so you know, Jay likes the Washington football team / Commanders, and he likes the Raiders. Big Raiders fan. And in that game, it was an incredible fucking football game. But how in the hell did you guys lose? How, man?
Man, I've never seen a game like that. I've never seen what Justin Herbert did in the fourth quarter ever. Like 4th and 20, 4th and 11, 4th and whatever, 4th and whatever. He
torture.
It was unbelievable just how the Chargers got back into it. And obviously, there was a lot of talk of how it ended. What's funny is that like leading up to it, everybody in the media joked like, "Oh, what if it's a tie?" And what's going to happen? And
imagine being a Pittsburgh fan watching that.
Like I say, he had that Sunday night game had the entire city of Pittsburgh up watching, waiting to see what was going to happen. You know what? I really think it sets up for just an unbelievable 2022. I've been on the record saying this. I want the first Sunday night game of the year to be Chargers Raiders in Vegas to start the season the same way it ended, right? Like do it on Sunday Night Football.
Let's
do it in Vegas and just have you just kind of pick up where you left off in 2021.
With the additions, Davante Adams, the new addition. Yeah. I mean, that is prime time.
Oh my God. That would be the best, right? Like you said, Davante Adams. I mean, and listen, the Raiders.
JC Jackson on the other side. I mean, it's
a lot of people. I think a lot of people are looking at the Chargers and they're looking at the Chiefs and they're looking at the Broncos and what the Raiders have done, getting Chandler Jones and Davante Adams, man, it puts them in a very interesting position too in the West. So I'll say this: like one or two teams from the West could win like 9-10 games and maybe not be in the tournament. That's a shame, but that's the reality of the AFC West.
Yeah. Oh, because I have a question, a very interesting question. I've been actually talking to people about this all week. Ranking the quarterbacks in the division, I think it comes down to that 3 and 4 spot between Herbert and Derek Carr. Granted, I do feel that Justin Herbert, as potential-wise, absolutely is going to be a better quarterback down the line. But us winning those last few games with less weapons, with Henry Ruggs, Edwards, the people didn't know. If you had to rank it by that, and I know I know you right for the Chargers. Who would you put? How would you rank that? Is Derek Carr 4th right now? Is he 3rd for right now? I know it can flop easy.
I think it could flop easy. I you know what? I'm not sure Russell Wilson's too.
There you go. A lot of people think he kind of fell off. I think he kind of fell off.
I mean, the accuracy of Herbert, some of those throws.
I'm just saying, like, listen, you can't knock Mahomes off the top.
No.
Yeah, you can't. Like, easy. I mean, they've been winning the division every year, right? I think Herbert is on his toes. Like I think Herbert is on his heels, I should say. And listen, Derek Carr doesn't get a ton of respect. And I'm not sure I wouldn't put Carr 3 and Wilson 4.
Whoa.
But I say that, guys, knowing that this is like, you can make the argument that these are 4 of the top 10 quarterbacks in football. Like if we're nitpicking at that point, right? Like we have Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, and Derek Carr all in the division. Like I think Russell is really going to have to prove that he can bounce back from the tough year that he had last year. And listen, I know he had the injury, and I know that probably had a lot to do with it. But you're going into a situation with Judy and Sutton, but you had DK Metcalf, and you had Lockett, and you had Gerald Everett. So, and you had Penny, who had a good year in the backfield.
So they keep complaining about the offensive line. That was the thing. His offensive, they could never get that offensive line right around him.
Yeah,
from what I understand.
Jay, I like the question. I would if you put me on the spot, like right now, I would have Mahomes and Herbert 1-2 for sure.
Wow, that's interesting.
I would have Mahomes, Herbert 1-2 for sure. And I think if you ask players around the league, and this isn't like a what have you done for me lately? This isn't like body of work, Russell Wilson, Super Bowl champion. Like this is if you got to go right now in 2022. And I say that. And I say that, say maybe Mahomes and Herbert 1 and 1A, because I think that those guys are going to be battling for the next decade.
Fair, yeah.
I can't wait to see
1 and 2, Jay.
I mean, so I definitely Mahomes number 1. So at first it was Justin Herbert, but then as I really started to get into it, have more conversations, the fact that Derek Carr was able to carry this team with little to no weapons, no disrespect to our wide receiver core, Darren Waller having a terrible year, makeshift. offensive line. This is the first time we've seen him with a legitimate weapon, and he's still done this. Justin Herbert came into a great situation. Definitely as far as wide receiver core, I think Chargers possibly just on paper, wide receivers are possibly top 5 in my opinion. Like really breaking it down. So Justin Herbert coming in that and him being good, that kind of boosts up when you have the core to go with it. Yeah. So as of right now, it's hard for me to put Derek Carr number 2. I think I still would put Justin, but it's not like a big drop off. This year would be the definite thing since we actually got weapons.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Like this is the thing too. Like if you say somebody's 3 or 4, you're acting like they're like not good quarterbacks. Like this is like the best quarterback division. Right. So like they're all like I think Carr is in that elite-ish category, right? He's kind of on that tier. Yeah. Russ has been elite. We'll see what happens in Denver. And I just think, Mahomes is up here and Justin's right behind him ascending.
Yeah, it's hard to get the fourth quarter of the Raiders game out of my mind. As somebody who was just rooting for one team to win, so the Steelers can make the playoffs.
There you go.
I can't get that fourth quarter out of my mind because I think, okay, the Raiders are going to win. The Raiders are going to win. Then Chargers came. Okay, the Chargers are going to win. The Chargers are going to win. Then I mean, it was just back and I can't. So from my perspective, from that quarter, Herbert just went up. Way up.
Quickly, because Chris has to go, guys. I got to ask you two quick questions. Quick as possible, because I know that we got to go. We got things to do. I want to get your opinion on the Baker Mayfield situation. I know it's not Chargers related, but I'm asking all football people and people that cover NFL teams that I know. Like, what is your opinion of this guy? Like, I'll go briefly. I don't understand how he did not succeed with that crazy offensive line. He had numerous weapons. From my understanding, just the visual look and just because I played football previously as well. But I mean, it seems like if his first read's not there, he panics. He can't find a wide open receiver. If his guys are not wide open, and even the scheme, it's like quick slants. I mean, lower, mid-level, intermediate routes, and he still can't find his guys. I mean, so like, what is your opinion of the whole Baker Mayfield situation?
Well, it's interesting. I mean, obviously Cleveland, they wanted to move on, and there was probably a reason behind that. I will say this, just if I could play devil's advocate with Baker, he really toughed it out last year. Like you could tell he was really, really hurt throughout the year. I'm not excusing his performance. I mean, I was there week 5 when the Chargers beat them 47-42. And Nick Chubb wasn't in the lineup a lot this year too, guys. Like, so I don't think Baker is like a top 12, 15 quarterback, but I think he has the potential to be kind of in that mid-tier and maybe help a team make a playoffs with weapons around him. I just don't know where the fit is at this point. Right? Like it's almost like musical chairs, right? Everybody's got their guy, and there's only a couple of spots, and then we have the draft too. So Seattle and Carolina and
and on top of this, he kind of seems, I'm not saying he is, it kind of seems like he could possibly be a headache because the way that I understand, he speaks confidently about himself and everything like that, but he seems like he's that guy. If you pull him, he's gonna get mad. He's gonna blow a gasket type thing. He said at first he said he wanted to go to the Colts. The Colts man said no, we want Matt Ryan. Then he said I want to go to the Panthers. Yeah. Seattle. They don't want him. And then the Panthers, from what I hear,
Anderson said he didn't want him.
Yeah. So it's just like I mean, something has to be going on. And I guess my last question was from a sports betting perspective in the NFL, where do you see this going? Because it's drawn a ton of attention to the game. What is your whole opinion of the sports betting additive to the NFL? Product.
Well, I think it's taken on a life of its own, right? I mean, now leagues are, bringing in betting partners, right? So it's a whole new element to sports in general. You know, and I don't see it going anywhere. I see it getting bigger, and you know, for me, like, you know, we're embedded in the team, so we don't touch that stuff. But but it's definitely something that has always really been there. You know, people have been doing this for years and years and years. And
I'm one of them.
Yeah, right.
yeah. Definitely one of them.
So now that it's legal in so many spots, I think it just brings more eyeballs to all sports, really. I mean, like, people will watch a hockey game tonight or a baseball game tonight with betting interest now, you know. So it's fascinating just how the world of sports has changed, guys. And I think like
Capital One Arena put a sports book in the arena.
Exactly. You know, and you know, I think the pandemic too has really kind of changed the way people view sports and prefer to be at home rather than in the stands sometimes. So I will say this though, it's good to see packed stadiums again. Like it was seeing SoFi Stadium packed this year was amazing, especially during the primetime games. So, but yeah, I mean, I can't wait for this upcoming season because there's no shortage of storylines, right? People are betting on the draft.
I know.
I am one of them.
Oh man, I'm not them. I'm not them, Chris. I bet on the game. I'm not betting on, you know, is Malik Willis going here or there. I'm not doing that. But hey, Chris Hayre, everybody. But Chris, like I said, man, it's a pleasure to have you on. Is there anybody you want to shout out before we hopping off of here, man? Like I said, I know we had you for a short sample size, but I would love to have you on again at some point, man.
Absolutely, man. Well, shout out to you guys for doing your thing. It was a blast, and
thank you.
I'd be happy to come on again, especially for my DMV guys. But you know, really the Chargers fans have been amazing. And what's cool about it is they're all over the country, like yourselves. You know, like we have the fans that we see at SoFi Stadium and training camp, but you know, going out to London a few years ago and seeing somebody who listens to the podcast in Germany and like it's really cool to, like, you know, Australia. Like it really is awesome to see how a team can bring people together, you know. And I'm just thankful to be a very small part of it and provide content to fans. And so shout out to Chargers fans, and I'm looking forward to an exciting 2022.
Dope, man. All right. Well, Chris, like I said, we'll let you get up out of here, man. Like I said, we'll definitely stay in touch, man. Take it easy.
All right, guys. I appreciate you. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
All right. See you, man.
Thank you.
Peace.
Take care.
All right. Man, incredible, man. So, Big G and Jay, man. What did you guys think, man? Like I said, if you're a Chargers fan, and Jay, you know from being in that division, loaded fucking division, dude.
Improved. They were a good team. And they attacked their weaknesses, and we're not even at the draft yet.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know. Like I said, I was worried about it at first, but when we dropped that Devontae Adams bomb, I'm like, well, shit, here we go. So I mean, I still stand on that hill. So, I agree with Chris.
I mean, it's an arms race in the AFC West. I mean, one team makes a move, the next team tries to trump them. Next team makes a move, next team tries.
I'm gonna say this right now: the Chiefs might fuck around and get fucked up. I'm telling you, I'm telling you they might get fucked up. But I'm telling you because I'm telling you the Chargers are flying under the fucking radar. I mean, if I had to go right now, Raiders gonna be fucking people up. The Raiders are gonna be fucking people up, and then I just think right below the Raiders is the Chargers. Then I think it's kind of like Denver. And then the thing is, Mahomes put out tape, ugly tape. Look what the Bengals did to him. Look what the Bengals did to him in Arrowhead. You know what I mean?
And they gotta replace Tyreek Hill.
They made him look average. They made him look average. The Bengals made him look average on the road in Arrowhead. I mean, look at the Bucs. The Bucs Super Bowl. They made Mahomes look average. I mean, the tape,
and
the tape
look at the formula. It's pass rush.
And what did the Chargers do?
Look at Chargers and Raiders.
Chargers and Raiders did it.
Denver
and Denver's defense is always crazy. They just don't have. They just turn the ball over. They'll get a stop. They'll throw a pick six and lose the fucking game. But now you got Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
But I mean that division is gonna be crazy. So, but like I said, shout out to Chris, man. Make sure you guys follow him on his social media handles. I'll post them down in the bottom of the YouTube channel. But Welcome everybody. I mean, we got a lot of good stuff going on. Well, big news actually. Big news that's gonna be coming up in the next few weeks, man. I think all the fellas kind of know behind the scenes, and we thank you for your support, man. We couldn't have done it without you guys, but we definitely got something really big in store for you guys, and we definitely need your support, continued support. And thank you for the people that are sharing the show. I see who you are, so I think a few people in the group, Jerry K. I forgot your last name, brother. But I'll always see you sharing the show, man. Shout out to you. And shout out to everybody else that's sharing the show in the group, man. Like I said, the Charge to the Game group on Facebook. Make sure you keep sharing, like, comment, subscribing to the channel. Like I said, we look at our guest jam. Look at our guest track. We've had obviously Chris Hayre, team reporter for the LA Chargers. We had Steve White on NFL Network. We're gonna have more guys for you on, and like I said, what these guys want is they want to see, our people watching them, and you guys obviously are, and everything like that. But as far as for football news, I know the draft is coming up, fellas. What do you guys think about this NFL draft? I mean, obviously we kind of talked about the quarterback class being kind of weak. The receiving class is loaded.
Strong, yeah, that's loaded.
I started looking at Vegas odds. So they have the odds on if the player will go top 10 or not. And what happened on Monday was all the quarterbacks' odds to go top 10. Like, so Kenny Pickett used to be minus 150 to go top 10. Monday, he's plus 185. So somebody got some information that he is not going top 10. The guy who went from an underdog to go top 10 to now a favorite to go top 10 is Stingley, the corner from LSU.
Yep, you see me shaking my head. Yep.
All of a sudden, now he's minus 130 to go top 10. For the last 3 months, he was plus 150 to go top 10.
Look, man,
and Kenny Pickett is sliding. Kenny Pickett they say, may drop to the 20s.
We'll see.
Now the talk is Malik will be the first quarterback taken.
And the thing is, I'll say this. They're even saying that Kenny Pickett is not even a second or third. Desmond Ritter's moving up. Him and what's the other dude?
And you, Desmond Ritter. We been
I fuck with Desmond Ritter.
So here's from a Steeler perspective. Here's an interesting nugget with Ritter. He's the only one who visited them.
You guys,
Mr. Where Mr. Rooney joined in on that meeting, and they said every other quarterback they've met. So Steelers have never drafted a first round pick that they haven't had dinner with. And so that's how people track who they're going to pick in the first round. In their history over the last 20 years, they've always had dinner with the first round pick. And so that's why Najee was easy, because it was no secret they were going to go after Najee. The thing right now is the two that they've been most into is Malik and Ritter. Not Kenny Pickett, who's in the same building as them, who they know more than anything. And
they can move, man.
Yeah, and not Corral either. It's Ritter or Malik.
Those are my favorite guys in the draft.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Those are my favorite guys in the draft. I love Malik Willis and I love Desmond Ritter. I like Kenny Pickett. I think his arm's a little weak, in my opinion. Desmond Ritter got that cannon.
Hey, look,
he'll throw that motherfucker from 120 to the other 20. You know what I mean? Just needs somebody to go get it. But, I wanted to ask you this, Big Z, and then, Jay, I wanted to talk about your Raiders, man, because, you guys on paper look like the best fucking team in the NFL. But, G, I'm telling you, on paper, well, even in Madden, just say this. I'm going to fuck people up in Madden.
I'm going to get Madden for this.
But, Z, I saw something today. You guys are looking at fucking Baker.
This is what's going to happen. If they don't get a quarterback, if they don't draft a quarterback, because unfortunately, Steelers always love to have 4 quarterbacks. And with Haskins passing away, they only have 2. They're going to draft one as the third one, and they're going to sign somebody because they always like to have 4 quarterbacks in camp. Mm-hmm. If Baker gets cut, Steelers will take him. They'll sign him. And another former number 1 pick, Trubisky, number 3 pick in the first round. Haskins, rest in peace, was another first round pick quarterback. And so that's the Steelers' MO. And then they'll draft one. But yeah, I think it's going to be Ritter or Malik, because the interesting note was, well, the rumor is Mr. Rooney loves Ritter. Just from that one dinner,
I want Ritter too.
He absolutely loves Ritter.
Well, you got Carr. I got Tom Brady for one more year. Shit. Why would you need Ritter? So, Tom Brady one and done, baby. You know what I mean? Sit behind Tom 1 year, and then let's go follow him up.
It's gonna be interesting. They had their last 2 visits was Malik Willis, and before him was Kyle Hamilton from Notre Dame, the safety. And so it's always, interesting when you say who's the last one in the door right before the draft. And those are the last 2 players who visited Pittsburgh. So,
okay.
Well, but for Hamilton, it would have to be a trade up because I don't see him dropping all the way.
Yeah, Hamilton's nice. I don't see him dropping over at 20 either.
Jay, as far as your Raiders, man, like I said, you guys are going to be a problem, man. I'm telling you, because if there's one way to get to Patrick Mahomes, it's with pass rush. And like I said, you guys bring in Chandler Jones, and you already have Max Crosby. I mean, what is he, the highest paid defensive lineman in the league now? I mean, his story is incredible. I mean, like I said, I know people might know Max Crosby. Do your research on this dude. This guy struggled from alcoholism. Like he was you know what I mean? Like he was that intense, and now he turned his whole entire life around. Now he's one of the best, athletes in the NFL. But I mean, how you feeling about your Raiders this season, man? And even going into the draft.
I mean, the first and second rounds we don't have, but I trust in
Devontae Adams. It's a nice consolation.
Fuck those picks. I mean, granted, I dig into the draft, so it was kind of a blow because I really like to get into the draft. Rome definitely knows that for sure, but after we read our first and second picks,
it's in Vegas. So will they bring out Devontae Adams with the next pick? The Raiders will bring out.
Do it.
But the thing is, y'all got like second and third round picks, right?
No, they got rid of those 2.
First and second.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all got a third though.
Yeah, third.
But the thing is, this receiver, you know what's gonna happen? Y'all gonna draft the receiver probably in the third round. I'm telling you, there's first round talent wide receivers from the first through the 5th round.
Yeah, it is.
I know that sounds from the 1st to the 5th round. It's like, okay, if you don't get this guy, okay.
And then people forget, like a guy like John Mechie, who got injured from Alabama. He's in this draft.
He's going to drop.
Injured. He was incredible.
Right. And the thing is, what do you think he's going to fall? Like he's going to fall like a late round.
No, I think someone will take him in the 2nd round because ACL 100%. Is ACL. 1 year you're back, so he'll be back by November.
Yeah,
and his tape. I mean,
he's a beast. He's a beast.
Everybody talks Jameson Williams. Mechie was the one who was making most of the big catches this season.
I just think. I mean, now Williams is fast as hell.
Yeah,
Williams is fast as fuck.
Another torn ACL, another injury.
Yeah, that guy. Every time I just watch him, like I see the highlights, I'm like, man, are they fast forwarding it? This guy looked like he got on a jetpack or something. It's incredible.
Jetpack. But nah, bro. I think we go on. To me, in my honest opinion, I haven't been able to look into it yet because all my draft grades was the 1st, 2nd round. But I think we go offensive lineman.
Yep. Yeah. Got to make up for that Leatherwood pick.
Come on, bro.
He's still fucking up. I still can't believe they drafted that in the 1st round.
And then he was so bad they had to move him to guard. I mean,
and he did pretty decent at guard. I'm not going to hold you.
He did good at guard. He did do really because they found out he couldn't move. But him out on that edge,
fuck no.
Nah,
toast, barbecue chicken.
What was it? 15, 16 pick? You don't use the 16 pick on a guard. I mean, that's.
Oh my gosh! But we made up for it in the 2nd round. Y'all know I was hyped. I was hyped for the 2nd round pick. I'm like, yo, they should have flipped. Yeah. But okay, cool. All right, we did. So I mean, I think we go lineman for sure, especially bringing in people straight from the Pats, their GM, and McDaniels.
And McDaniels.
Yeah,
McDaniels going to be max protect the quarterback. I mean,
100%. So I'm excited, man.
Think about all those years with Brady. He's gonna have, Derek Carr took a lot of hits. McDaniels gonna make sure he doesn't get hit.
Yeah, that offense he's gonna run. He's gonna run that, play action.
I mean,
stuff
think
like
about
that.
Waller, Adams, and then the Clemson receiver.
Hunter Winthrop.
Yeah,
you got
just say the little white guy. Just say the little white guy.
And then you got Edwards on the edge. Man.
Yeah.
But no, like that receiving core is gonna be crazy. I'm telling you, because I like I said, Devontae
don't forget Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs. You want to drop everybody back? Okay, boom. You know what I mean? He's just busting through the line for 30, 40 yards and running people over. So I mean, as far as for the Bucks, like I said, for one, I'm just happy Tom's back. For two, I'm just happy Tom's back. And for three, I'm just happy Tom's back. Okay? Because it's just that simple. I mean, with Tom Brady, anything is possible, as we all saw.
Look, Tom back and Bruce out.
Yeah. So well, good job, Bruce. But hey, I'd rather have Tom anyway. Okay? Anybody can coach. But not anybody can coach, but not anybody can do what Tom does. But I mean, if I'm a Bucks fan, we brought back Carlton Davis. I was gonna say if we let him walk, we say corner. I still want us to take a corner. But I mean, from what I'm seeing and hearing, they're possibly looking at bringing in what is it? I think they're bringing in a possible guard.
Yeah, offensive line, because they lost. What is that guy, Kappa?
Yeah, they lost Kappa. They did bring in Shaq Mason, but they also lost Ali Marpet. Ali Marpet was an All-Pro. He
retired, or
he retired.
He retired
at like the tender age of like 28, 29. So, and like he was All-Pro, Pro Bowler for years. He's gone. Shaq Mason is, he wasn't a Pro Bowler, but he's almost at that Ali Marpet level. But he also has to learn the scheme, and everything like that. So I like offensive line for the Bucks. I got to do more research, a little bit more to see who they're looking at. I would love to see Trevor Penning. But I mean, honestly, he's not going to fall that far late in the draft. And then, if you're a Bucks fan, I want to hear for the Bucks fans in the chat, man. If you guys are listening to the show, whenever you do listen to it, what is Joe Tryon looking like? Because now Jason Pierre-Paul is gone. I know he's a little older. He's going to be the starter. Joe Tryon, our first round draft pick from last year, is going to be the starter. I understand he was a situational pass rusher. Can the guy be disciplined? Not rush upfield, stop the run. He just looks a little thin to me. I hope he gets in the weight room because, the Bucks had a lot of issues on that defense. And Todd Bowles really got grilled a lot. Like, look at the scores from last year's games. Mm-hmm. Up and down the field. Tom Brady throwing the ball 40-plus times a game in order to get wins. I don't want that to be the norm.
They could use some depth on the D-line, too, because when
I really want them to see if they can find
when Vita got hurt, they were not the same defense when he wasn't in there.
Vita Bay is incredible. I really want them to try to draft. They're looking at that guy from Georgia, too.
Georgia got about 4 D linemen because
I'm talking about the D tackle type. I forgot his name. Them boys crazy.
And then I saw a thing on NFL Network. So 3 guys are going to be drafted in the first round. They said the 4th defensive lineman who's going back is better than the 3 guys getting drafted this year. The 4th starter was a freshman last year. And everybody's like, watching their tape? Yeah, I know the other 3 are first round picks, but that freshman.
That man is an animal.
That might be the best one in the bunch, and he's going to be back in Georgia.
Man, I mean, let the good times roll. That's how it kind of rolls at those big universities, man. So, I mean, it is what it is. But enough about the football aspect. Now, for the NBA fellas, I know we're going to cover that really quick and close out with some bets because we do got the bets for you guys as well. From an NBA standpoint, what do we got tonight? What's this NBA scores? I know the Nets and Boston are playing. The Nets are up 79-72. Like, what did you guys see in that? Did you guys watch that last game? I know I did.
Oh, it was incredible.
It was incredible. Jason Tatum called game.
Yeah. I mean, what do we think of KD, man? I want to ask you guys about KD because, man, it was bodying my man. It was getting physical with him. They're like, look, you're small as hell. You can shoot.
Yeah. And we're going to rough you up. Game 2, they're calling it tighter. That's why he's freer to score. So all the complaining Steve Nash did has worked.
But check this out now. Azim, have you brought that up? Yeah. Now, I want you guys to understand something. It's great. And we know KD is one of the greatest players of all time. My man struggled to get 25 points in that game. He's one of the greatest scorers of all time in today's NBA.
Yep.
Can you imagine what he did in the 80s and 90s? How them boys was just all over you like that? You know what I mean? Like that was they let them boys play out there, and KD was getting bodied. It was like, yo, you know what I mean? Like
the thing where he'd have, I mean, he still have an advantage. He's a 7-footer who can hit threes.
Yeah, I'm about to say that's the thing though too.
But no,
he's already said it though. He commented on it.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, he commented on it more so not about being physical. It's a change of pace, right? And like he said that now I was kind of getting forced to make shots and do things that faster than I tend to because they did switch that up, which means there's adjustment that can be made. There's adjustment that can be made.
I mean, but the thing is, they're calling it a lot closer tonight. The other night, it was like, oh man, like he was getting fouled in today's NBA, you know what I mean, stuff like that. Now it's just like, okay, they call back today's NBA, stuff like that. But I mean, tonight I'm happy. I do got money on the Nets. I just need them to cover that plus 4.5. But it just goes to show. I mean, and then Kyrie came out there.
Well, Kyrie came in and dropped buckets.
Yeah, he stepped on their necks. I mean, them fans got to stop it though, man. Y'all Boston fans, y'all got to stop it, man. You know what I mean?
We already know our Boston fans are. Shout out to my people out in Mass. You know what I'm saying? That be rooting for the Boston. And yeah, y'all ain't foul, but some of y'all.
Let me ask you this. This might rub you the wrong way. Are they racist? You know, it's a lot of racism.
Look, there's a lot of racism in there. I don't know. I'm gonna go holler.
Ask the Boston Red Sox. they're the same people that brought the fucking banners and signs to the game.
Yeah, there's a history. I mean, think about it. Red Sox are the last team to have a black player.
I mean, like I'm just saying, Boston, I get it. I understand it's sports city. I get it. But how much of this is race oriented? You know what I mean? Because we already know this racism still exists. It still does exist, 100%. And it's alive and well. So I'm just happy Kyrie came out there and stepped on their necks. I'm gonna look at his stats and see what he's doing tonight. Look like he's having a decent game.
6 and 7, 3 for 8. So.
And I mean the interesting thing with Kyrie, if you notice the game, because he's fasting for Ramadan, and so he's got to wait until sundown to eat something all day. It was the first quarter. As soon as it was sundown, they called timeout. He ran in the locker room. Then he came out with a bunch of fruit. He's eating fruit.
Yeah, fruit.
So that's why he eats on the sidelines.
Yeah. That's why he's looking like he about to be sleeping and everything. Yeah, my man need to get it together.
So they watch. But think about, I mean, Olajuwon did that his whole career. Yeah, and it never affected him. I mean,
that's crazy.
It's
the part of the religion. That's just that's just what the doctor ordered. You know,
but so we were talking about betting in the playoffs, and so if you look at the trends over the last 20 years, the zigzag theory, teams that go 0-2, the first quarter of their first game at home win 80% of the time. Win that first quarter. And so tonight was the first example of this year. That was Toronto get blown out twice in Philly. And the first quarter, they're up 45-31. Won the first quarter, cashed that ticket easy. You're going to get another opportunity with Golden State going to Denver. Mm-hmm. That first quarter for Denver, down 0-2. If Milwaukee wins tonight, they go to Chicago that first quarter. I mean, the trend is crazy. I just bet it on a pure numbers basis, just looking at the numbers over the last 20 years. And the books have adjusted so that in most cases they'll fix the number, but with Toronto, it was still -1. And so easy money, 45-31 slam dunk.
I want to talk about the Toronto game. So the Toronto game right now, Toronto's at home. 76ers getting smashed right now. You know what I mean?
No Thibault. Thibault can't go to Canada.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see if the 76ers can come back, but they're struggling right now to get points. I mean, Toronto's kind of moving. I mean, it's 45-31 in the second quarter. The Bulls-Bucks game was actually a close game late, you know. I mean, the Bucks are back home tonight in the late game. And then, obviously, what was it? Memphis the other night, they got 1-1. They got on the board, man, because they came out game one and played no defense.
And no, they benched Steven Adams. Steven Adams played 2 minutes in game 2, and they won by 30 or whatever, 35 points. If you could sit at home and watch how Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns attacked Steven Adams on a pick and roll every play over and over and over, and they never took him out. And so I waited for the game to start, and then as soon as they benched him, bet it in game, and he never came back in the game, and they won by 30.
And that's another thing for the betting guys. Like I said, we don't really touch on it enough. Yeah. But I know what I do. My kind of strategy is if I might put a bet in, my iffy bet. If it don't look too good, in game, bet it in game. Bet on the other side. I mean, save your cash, or if something's looking good in game, or if somebody's going to the bench. There's so many ways to make money now, man. Like obviously we just kind of talked to Chris. Obviously those guys are not involved in sports betting and stuff like that, man. But at the same time, like I said, it's a growing market. That's a lot of people's livelihood. There's a lot of money on the line. So a lot of people trying to feed their families through sports betting. But as far as the other series, fellas, I saw Devin Booker. I mean, the Suns messed around and lost. They fucking lost to the Pelicans.
Scott Foster, 14-0 against Chris Paul.
I mean, there's something to that. I don't know what.
14 in a row.
I mean, then like I said, Devin Booker's going to be out game 3 and game 4.
3 and game 4.
And I mean, who's their wing? Who's their scoring wing? Miles Bridges? Yeah. Miles Bridges ain't no scoring wing. He's an okay guy. He's a guy that can take the pressure on people.
Maybe Cam Johnson. Maybe they shift Cam Johnson in that role. I mean, he's not Devin Booker. Nobody's Devin Booker. He's Cam Johnson, at least a shooter.
Yeah, now Cam Johnson, the pressure's gonna be on him because he's one of the guys that can put the ball on the floor, put the ball in the basket. He has a shot.
I mean, their issue defensively on Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum.
And they better do something because Ingram was out there killing
and Biava though.
Oh my God, he was out there
chicken.
Balling. You know what I mean? Just every trip down the floor, I was like, man, this guy gonna miss. You know what I mean? Late in games, all of that.
And the key was, so Booker is a good perimeter defensive player against CJ. Yes, everybody talks about his offense, but he has the size. You replace him with, what was it, Cam
Johnson?
The point guard, the backup point guard for them, who's short.
Oh, Cameron Payne?
Cameron Payne.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have the size. I mean, CJ is a legit 6'7". Campaign comes in at 6 foot versus a Booker who's 6'5", who can actually get in his face.
I'm telling you one thing. They better figure some shit out because the Pelicans stole one on the road. They're back at home. They showed that they're not scared. And then obviously we already know what happens when you go home. When you get the home cooking, you get the ref calls. You get all of the
not the home cooking.
I mean, you do though.
It doesn't hurt that their coach was in Phoenix last year.
Fucked up.
So
he ain't no good. Yeah. Hey, did you hear what this man said? He said, "Look at Zion."
Oh, he said,
Zion wearing some nice ice chains. But every time they show him, he got a new. I mean, he got a whole country economy around his neck. I'm like, every game he got a new one. I'm like, what is that medallion? I mean, what?
I don't want to do it, but I guess he invested in jewelry and food.
I mean, he got a
Five Guys and shit
every game. I'm like,
that's a 5 Guy.
I mean, man, and I wonder how he feels because they are balling. The rest of the team is playing. I mean, they don't really need Zion.
Well, no, I think Zion's gonna take him to the next level. I'm still the verdict still not.
They think he might play. They think he might come back. Huh?
See how?
What do you mean? You fucked up! I swear to God. Somebody come get this man. Yo, you ain't seen him dunk. That's all he can do, though.
That's as far as he go. But running up that court, and
he was like, "Get me up out of here." My stomach hurt. I got doo-doo. That 5 Guys got me.
Oh God!
Man, especially the way they play. They run. Yeah, Willie Green came from Phoenix, so he knows the Phoenix players' tendencies.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So, they definitely are running squad. Big Z, you right about that. So honestly, I don't know, but I think
if they keep getting plus, I mean, they be getting plus 10, plus 12.
Right.
I mean, literally, the bet for me has been Phoenix first half, and then New Orleans full game plus the 10 plus the 11, and that's the way to cash at home. But now without Booker, I mean, without Booker, I still think that's gonna be tough. Yeah,
they're gonna be in trouble. They're gonna be in trouble. And they
while Golden State is rolling,
they might go fucking home. I'll say this right now: the Suns might go fucking home and go sit down somewhere because I mean, you have to steal one in New Orleans. That crowd in New Orleans gonna be hyped. B. Ingram and McCullough and those guys, and I forgot the guy. I remember one of the guys he got like an afro, fast break. He was just taking it off the rim and just rim running.
You talking about Jackson Hayes?
Jackson Hayes, man, this motherfucker was like cherry picking. I was like, is somebody gonna do something? Look, you know what I mean?
And then they got Herbert Jones too. So I mean, I kind of got a squad. I mean, to me,
think about it. Herbert Jones was a second round pick.
Second round balling, doing this thing. Especially for a second round grade. Yeah.
How does that guy fall to? He's gonna be all defense, all NBA defense. Herbert Jones was a second round pick in the draft as a rookie.
Yeah. Then you got Nance coming off the bench too. I mean, if Zion really came back,
he don't want to be there though. That's the thing.
No, I'm hearing different reports now.
He wants to go to New York. I think
he wants to be a Knick. Yeah, to play with his boy Barrett, and then Cam Reddish is with the Knicks too. So he wants to do the old Duke. With those, they played at Duke as freshmen.
I get it. And the thing is, it's going to happen. The NBA can do that. NBA, because they're going to trade him. You know, you got leverage in the NBA. He's going to go to the Knicks next season or whatever, and then it's going to be R.J. Barrett, and it's going to be the old Duke boys, just like old times.
Cam Reddish.
What do Knicks have to give up?
Draft picks.
Draft picks, and then then
they don't. Because it's that. But, I mean, they fired their coach last year because Zion didn't like him. Yeah. So the team was catering to Zion, and then without him, they've taken off. I mean, they don't really need him.
Yeah, they probably like, well, I don't want to keep doing yeah, man, he was just, I don't want to keep saying it, man. But, Zion, man, you got to put the food down, man. Put the food down. You need you know what I mean? You got to lock that franchise.
Three times hard because it's hard to escape a bad dive, bro.
You can't eat like a regular person, brother. Yeah. But before we close up with the bets, fellas, like, what do you guys think about this Mavs? Jalen Bronson went on for like 40 plus points.
He's gone next season.
Look, that was the first Mavs home game to go over the total for the first time in 3 months. They actually, because Utah, Donovan Mitchell doesn't play defense. And then he leaves Rudy Gobert out to dry. And with Brunson in the game, with Spencer Dinwiddie pushing the pace, and they went over the total and they won. I mean, and then now Luka's back. Luka's going to play next game.
Utah is a mess. Because like I said, they had the opportunity to go win 2 games on the road in Dallas and then go back home. Now Luka's back.
Yep.
Now you're in trouble. Because this boy gonna kill you. You know what I mean?
So, my question, interesting take. Not exactly my take, but I've been debating people about it. People are feeling like the 1 point failure as far as like Luka being the beginning and the end of stuff is actually worse for the team.
Oh no.
I mean, exactly. Yeah, that's been a take that's been happening. There's been a few people came up to me, and I'm like, I don't know. Even got to the point where people were saying,
I need to talk to them people.
Look, that's Luka the Dawn. I mean,
don't ever say that again.
They have, I mean, the shock is, completely changing their team, having multiple ball handlers on the court. Brunson is going to hit the lottery. He's going to get a max contract. He's a free agent at the perfect time.
Oh no, he's one of our targets at Detroit.
I mean, he's going to get a max contract somewhere.
The thing is, they kind of changed the offense a little bit because the thing is, but the thing is, remember when we had Darryl Armstrong on and stuff like that? We was asking him about what's going on with the smoke between Luka and Kristaps. I understand you try to downplay it. Obviously, you're a coach and stuff like that. You want to defuse stuff, but Kristaps was mad because Luka was getting those touches. and wasn't getting the ball. And then when Kristaps would get the ball, he would do fucking nothing. Dude would miss layups, and Luka would kind of clown the dude, like, man, I ain't give you the fucking ball no more. You know what I mean? I mean, it just is what it is. But now it's kind of free flowing. They cut to the basket. They push the pace, and they're kind of like running. You know, what I mean?
Then having multiple ball handlers. I mean, replacing Kristaps with Dinwiddie to spread the floor out.
That small guard lineup, because you got Luka, you got Dinwiddie, you got.
Dinwiddie's not that small though.
No, but so he's a scoring point guard. Yeah, his problem with the Wizards wanted Beal to do all the scoring, wanted him to be a traditional point guard. That's not how he plays. He's got Brunson, he's got Luka, he's got multiple ball handlers around him, so he could just be free, play his style. Even Bertans hitting threes. I mean, the former Wizards.
Bertans hitting threes. Jesus.
This is history repeating itself, because remember when they traded Josh, what was it? Josh from Wake Forest. The Wizards did a trade with the Mavericks the year the Mavericks won the title. They gave him Brendan Hayward. They gave him
Josh Howard.
Yeah, Josh Howard.
Yeah, Josh Howard. Yeah.
They went to Dallas. They went on a 30-game win streak and won the title. They left Washington.
Now Utah gonna mess around and go home. Donovan Mitchell's gonna leave.
Yeah,
and then Utah
let him leave.
That's just how the NBA is, man. I just hope it's not on like another stupid super team. Man.
No, that's what's gonna happen, because him or they'll trade Rudy, but him and Rudy don't get along, and so that's if they traded Rudy, where would Rudy go? If he went to like Toronto and add a center to that team,
you would not want to play Toronto.
So I'm about to say, so these are the teams I'm hearing. I'm hearing Toronto, I'm hearing Bulls, and I'm hearing Golden State.
Golden State, Rudy with Golden State.
Yeah, that's the main one. I think Golden State came out and said it. If he comes available, they are pursuing him.
So they'll trade Wiseman for Rudy.
With him, you cannot.
They said Wiseman and Wiggins.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't think they give up Wiggins. They need to match the salary, so they have to give up Wiggins.
That's why Wiggins. Yeah.
But the thing is, you can do that because the growth of Jordan. What's the dude name?
Jordan Poole.
Yes, sir.
You can do that. I mean, if Jordan Poole wasn't like that, it's like, okay, go ahead. We got Jordan Poole, and he's younger.
The young 3 first-round picks this year.
Oh yeah, Kuminga and
Moses Moody.
Yeah, so it's like, honestly, who cares? I hate to be that sound like that person, but who cares? Yeah. Even though Andrew Wiggins balling, but
but when they play that small ball lineup with Draymond at center and got surrounded with the 4 shooters, man, can't nobody mess with that. Man, Golden State, they go off.
And the thing is, Draymond runs point up top. Yeah. It takes the center out the paint. You know, these guys are backdoor cutting, spotting up the 3. All of that. Oh my gosh. You know, but
Denver has to be the dumbest team ever, because in that third quarter, I mean, they literally, I think the score was 40-13 or something like that in the third quarter. And they just kept running the same play. Put Joker in the pick and roll.
That's what they do.
Boom, hit him. Either the back cut, if the back cut's not there, kick it out for a 3. They did that over.
If it's not broke, don't fix it. Look at what last year's playoffs. I mean, even happened in the playoff game. Trae Young.
So
pick and roll over and over and over again. You can't stop it. We're gonna keep doing it.
So Aaron Gordon is the other one getting exposed.
Aaron Gordon is getting exposed. He lost with some fucking money. All you needed to get was like 15 points, you bum ass.
Oh, man.
So that's what's
Aaron Gordon with 15 points. This bum ass.
Aaron Gordon was killed like during the season.
Aaron Gordon had
like you're right. I took a risk. I took a fly risk on my. He made me more money than he lost, but I don't care about that loss. He still lost me money. Anywho, so I have an interesting conversation. Rome, you're gonna be biased about this. I already know you are. So this is more so a question for Big Z. So I'm hearing a lot of people talking about Joker, as far as like this MVP discussion, because we know it's been between Joel and Joker. And I hear a lot of people saying that if he goes home the first round, that should eliminate him.
But it's a regular season award, so the votes have already gone in. The reason they're saying Joker is the leading candidate is because he has no help. I mean, it's showing that in the damn playoffs. Golden State is killing them. All they got is Joker, and really, Jamal Murray out. Who's the guy from Missouri?
MPJ, Michael Porter Jr. Yeah,
he's out too.
That's what I was saying. I was like, I mean, as I'm talking to the few guys that think this, I'm like, I like Joel Embiid. I don't have a really dog in this fight.
So what's worse, the two players being out or the headache that Ben Simmons caused Joel all year?
To be honest, I'll say this. I get it. I mean, I think Joel's gonna win this year just because
he should. Yeah,
he should have won. Last year, in my opinion.
I'm not mad.
Now, last year I was mad though. I ain't gonna lie.
No, last year
that was kind of fucked up because now you kind of doing a switcheroo because he should have won last year. Joel should have won. Now this year they're probably gonna give it to Joel, but he actually should have won last year.
It looks like according to Vegas, Joker's gonna get it again.
What?
Yeah. But the thing is, you know who it is though? It's the sports writers. Though.
Yeah.
Look at this, but I'm saying, look who all the sports writers are though.
No, but I saw a podcast with Kevin Durant, who said undeniably Embiid is the MVP, and he was like,
the players, though.
Yeah, and he said they don't like his personality. He's like the writers who vote for this, don't like his personality.
But check this out. There you go. Now that ties into a whole nother thing.
And he spoke the truth about Ben Simmons. They thought that was a little harsh. These soft writers.
Most of the writers are white guys. You know what I mean? And the thing is, Joel Embiid is like hardcore. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's not like soft spoken. Like, look, these guys suck. They suck. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Joker goes hard too, but he's not just gonna say that. But I mean, at the same time too, I mean, I love Joker. You know what I mean? But he does not have, Jamal Murray. Pressures on him each and every night.
And Harden is hurting Embiid because they're saying, he has Harden, so he has help.
Yeah, that's what they're saying too. That is Harden's cases too. So,
but Harden has not been playing well.
He hasn't been playing well at all. And the thing is, that was half the season. I mean, Joel was putting up 40 plus without Harden.
And he was the leader to win it before they got Harden. Once they got Harden, the odds switched and it went to Joker.
And the thing is, the Nuggets, they got some nice solid pieces.
No, but they ain't trash. They're a 6 seed. I mean, that's the MVP shouldn't come from a 6 seed in the West. The East is a tougher conference.
Yeah, and it's a lot of soft teams in the West. You know what I mean? But I mean, we'll see what's gonna happen. I mean, and it could be Joker. I think. Well, actually, now that you said it, I keep forgetting about the writers are the one who chooses, not the players. I mean, everybody knows Joel Embiid is a better player than Jokic. I mean, just by that,
you can make a case for Giannis. I mean, honestly,
that's what I said. Giannis. I mean, in my hierarchy, I think it's Embiid, Giannis, and then Joker in the MVP race. Now, as far as just best player in the league,
I'm sorry, Giannis.
Shit, that motherfucker kill you. That motherfucker will kill you. Hey, stop it. Hey, stop it. Shit,
but you can't stop it, bro. I'm
not mad at that. Shit, that nigga.
Half back down.
Oh, come on, man.
He sets up there and put that ball to his shit. He getting that 3 technique and you ain't stop that shit.
Hey, can't stop it. He broke, don't fix this shit. You know what I mean? You want to get soft, you know what I mean? It gets soft, but this motherfucker goes hard. But this man said, "Hey, back down, man. Stop it." Well, that goes out with the best fellas. I mean, I'll go real quick. I don't really have a ton of bets.
Me either.
For me, man, let me look at the series. Let me scroll back. So, I mean, I got a lot of series bets. Like, I got the Nets to win the series. I got some large dough on that. I got the 76ers winning the series. I got money on that. And then I got Memphis because that was pretty favorable. So those, like I said, I got like series bets. So I'm not really betting on game. I got game bets. Like tonight, I did take the Nets. You know what I mean? Because I thought that them coming out last game, and Kyrie is mad. He's clearly mad that the fans are doing what they're doing. KD is mad. Their whole locker room is out there to prove that they're here to play. So I mean, I did take the Nets. I'm probably gonna keep taking the Nets plus the points, because they're an 8th seed or 7th seed, right? So they're always, for the most part, going to take plus points. I'm going to tease them up. I'm going to keep teasing the Nets up. So I'm going to get them and parlay them with another game and turn that, original +4, until +8, +9. I mean, the Boston really gonna blow the Nets out by 8 or 9 points? I doubt it. So that's what a lot of what I'm doing. And then here tonight, I did take the Bucks. I teased them down with the Nets. So that was my bets. And then I did take the Mavs for the series because I don't know. I actually just took them tonight because I don't know what's going on with Utah, man. They fucking suck.
Yeah, I mean, they never really had it, in my opinion. They was always been a threat, but they never been like the threat.
But the thing is, I mean,
the now key to the match, winning without Luka at home, and now Luka's coming back.
But the thing is, I mean, it's like their offense is too Donovan Mitchell oriented. If Donovan Mitchell doesn't create and do stuff, there's nobody else that can dribble, drive, that can handle the ball, get to the paint. Mike Conley's not what he used to be. Bogdanovich is nice.
Bogdanovich is nice.
He is nice as shit, but is he really a second option? He's more of like a third option.
No, he's not. And then Dom only passed to Moody maybe 3 times.
Their problem is defensively. I mean, Jalen Brunson destroyed him. I mean, Donovan Mitchell cannot stop dribble penetration. And
he's tired.
And Gobert can't help. So he's getting exposed because they're getting like Maxi Kleber hitting his threes from the corner. Gobert can't run out to the 3-point line. So they run that 5-out offense where the center is shooting threes. They're in trouble. They can't play that. For bets, there's some stats I like. I mean, if you look at it, Hawks are 0-22 ATS as a dog this season. So if you ever see the Hawks as an underdog, they're getting blown out. 0-22 ATS as an underdog this season. Now, Hawks play better at home, but that's always a stat. When they're on the road, look at that. If you see the Hawks as an underdog, they're going to get blown out, and the spread will get covered. Other stat we talked about, if you see Scott Foster reffing
I saw that too. Chris Paul, yeah.
Look, I know when you see that +280 on New Orleans, you're thinking, oh, man, this can't just – as soon as you see Scott Foster, just sprinkle.
As soon as you see Scott Foster.
Just sprinkle a little bit on that.
Just a little bit, or you just dump the whole can on it?
I mean, dump the whole can on that +11. That was beautiful. But just a little sprinkle on that money line. and just follow the stat. And then the other stat I love is 0-2 teams going back home. That first quarter they cover. It's 2-0 this year. So Toronto did that tonight in the first quarter and the first half too. So they're 0-2 going back home. They come out going crazy.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah, so the game to watch is Golden State's 2-0. Denver's going home. So watch that first quarter. I like Golden State to win the game, but that first quarter, Denver going to be fired up. It's just the trend. It just happens. No matter. I mean, Toronto got a bunch of injuries, and they were leading at half by 10? It's just human nature.
Let me ask you this.
Follow the trends. Yeah.
I know you were a big advocate, and I even followed it because I don't even fucking follow baseball.
Yeah.
Is the fade the Orioles shit still on?
They scored a run in the first inning for the first time, I think, after they did that last night. So yeah, so the craziness, the Mets have been really good. And so I don't know how long this could last, but the Mets have been a good team. The Dodgers run line, Dodgers, especially at home, they blow out teams. I mean, in baseball, so even the best team is going to lose 60 games. So they're not going to win every night. There's too many games. But the Dodgers at home have been winning, and when they win, they cover that run line. So the money line will be crazy at -360. Mm-hmm. But if you see that -1.5, you'll get plus money, +110, +120, +130. And they have been covering that run line. So just, again, sprinkle a little bit on that money, on that run line on the better teams. But I don't get heavy into baseball until the second month. So first month is to learn to watch, and then second month jump in.
A friend of mine just made a killing. With baseball the first few weeks of the season, man. I gotta ask him what bets did he did, because I went to the casino with him, and I saw the lump of cash that he did. Like I said, I don't watch baseball. I'll be the first to tell you. Yeah. But this motherfucker, I mean, it was a few thousand.
So my observation the first week, the bad teams are very, very bad.
Yes,
I mean there are some horrible teams, and so they just take the run line, which is just saying that they'll lose by more than one run. So they'll lose by 2 or more. So when you look at teams like the Pirates, which is sad for me because I love the Pirates. I'm a Pittsburgh guy, but look at the Pirates. Look at the Orioles. Look at the Nationals, the other one. I mean, when you think about the bad teams, they're horrible. And the Reds. And so those are teams you can fade them first 5, which just means they'll lose after 5 innings, or take the run line -1.5 because they'll find a way to lose. So, yeah, so far, first month, Reds are terrible. Pirates are terrible. Nationals are terrible. And then Arizona Diamondbacks, they're terrible. They can't hit. Arizona scores 2 runs a game. And then this week, Arizona's in Washington to play Washington. Washington won the 2 games. I'm like, yeah, they can finally beat a scrub team. But, yeah.
All right, Jay. What you got?
Bad teams are bad.
I don't really got too much, man. I mean, outside of you just covering the series, the series betting with the obvious people who are going to win the series in the beginning, clean up that easy money. And like Big Z said, man, I'm not really betting baseball until like the second month. I got to see how everything played out. I put a little bit of stuff on it, sprinkle a little bit things on it, and I came out a little bit less favorable with these. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go back to my same thing. Let a month play out, then I'm back in it. The second month kicking the ass. Yeah, so it's coming.
Here's the other thing. Those who bet the NBA, hammer this shit the first round and the second round.
Yes,
because the deeper we get in the playoffs, the harder
it gets.
I couldn't agree with you more, man. Because that's exactly what I've been doing. Because some people are so stupid. Some people bet big money all the time, or even not big. Some people just bet all the time. Like I'm a person. If I don't like to bet, I'm not gonna bet. I'm not betting every night. I bet big on what I like. Some idiots, I see them, because I don't really go to the casino like that all the time. But when I do go, it's the same people there. I'm like, man, what is going on?
And people need to realize these are all pros, and so they're gonna make adjustments game to game. So if you look at Toronto, for example, losing by 30. They're going home. They're up by 15. They're going to win this game. Yeah. And so people will look at it like, how the hell the team that lost by 30 in Philly 2 days ago are going to win by 30 at home?
Y'all playing the same team.
You got to see there's human nature. And so watch it. So those, and then the other thing is like, good example, first game, Minnesota, Memphis. Minnesota went crazy the first game, attacking Steven Adams. Steven Adams played 2 minutes. Game 2, and Memphis won by 40. So they made the adjustment, but and we can see it watching the game. You can see it if you pay attention to the game. Like, wait, they're attacking this one dude every play, the whole quarter, and killing him.
Pay attention to the games. Pay attention to the games, fellas. You know what I mean? Like I said, watch the stuff. Watch your money, man. Yeah. Like I said, there's a lot of money to be made, but there's also a lot of money to be lost. Some people are losing.
And never overextend yourself. That's a good advice too.
Never
bet what you can bet.
Look at my bets. I literally post my bets on IG. You know what I mean? I'll put my IG at the bottom of the channel for all of us. You want to follow me? You want to follow Big Z? You want to follow Jay? I post my stuff on there. I took a simple bet the other night. I took the 76ers and the Warriors money line.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's simple as that. I mean, and parlayed them together, took them straight, and then
they both ended up covering.
They both ended up covering. You know what I mean? But like I said, everybody already knows how I get down. You know what I mean?
Money line wrong.
I made my thousands by money line parlays, teasers, and stuff like that. I mean, I know so many people that are just sitting there scrambling. You know what I mean? Living the fucking slums just out here.
Pay attention, change of venue now. Toronto's may beat Philly after losing them by 30. So watch the Golden State now. Golden State has been killing. They're the one team, though, I think the matchup, Denver's just too slow. And Aaron Gordon is just too terrible. So even though they switched to the high altitude, having Steph Curry as a sixth man, I mean, they'll start out slow with him on the bench. As soon as they put him in the game, that jolt of energy gives them. I mean, the last game they were down 12. Steph comes in. hits 3 threes in a row, the lead is gone. And then they rolled, and then they won the first half. They won go crazy in the third quarter like they always do, and then they won the full game by 20. So Steph Curry, 6th man of the year.
Well,
I endorse it.
Well, like I said, I'm about to wrap up here, man. Like I said, for the audience, like I said, thanks for the support, man. We got a lot of big things coming your way. Make sure you're sharing the show, like, comment, subscribe, follow us on the IG page at the bottom. Join the Charges to the Game group on Facebook where we talk, chat about sports all day, every day. Like I said, well, I don't know. We might have a guest next week. We might not, but like so we might probably do a lot more draft talk about the NBA playoffs. And then obviously WNBA is around the corner, man. If you missed last episode, we talked to Ice Young, who's the color commentator for the Connecticut Sun of the WNBA, probably one of the best teams and organizations in the WNBA. She's also a professional basketball player. Check that out. Like I said, I mean, more big guests, the guys, to come. But we'll see you guys next show. Take it easy. Peace.